everyone, it's 1 o'clock here on IC Radio, and I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Kazuma. Welcome back to Science at 1, where we bring you the best science news, gossip, and analysis.
And the best music. Our playlist today includes the likes of Beverly Glenn Copeland, Sea Power, and a personal shout out to my friends Boko Youth.
And on the science menu, we're going to talk about topics like the tipping point of coral reefs.
And we're having guests on today explaining how autonomous drone systems can help people in earthquakes.
We're developing a system that will take the outputs of sensors and automatically figure out if there is someone trapped beneath rubble piles or not and their locations.
That was a little sneak peek of what's coming up here on Science at 1. So, how are you all feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I can tell that you're not sick this time, Kazuma. That's great.
My immune system finally won. But yeah, I mean, this is my third time. This is your first time here.
Presenting, yes.
Yeah,
and I'm not sick, so I'm beating the curse.
Yeah, beating the allegations as well. Yeah.
Very good.
So, should we move on to the next song, first song of the day?
Yes. So the first song on our playlist today is Song from Beads by Beverly Glenn Copeland.
Mistakes are missed around some distant harbor, and all your love, some girl above the desert, and the miles like whales of time will open wide as long windows of rain come crashing to our feet again, and colored planes will splash the sky with hours and days of matching seasons that come drifting by, and the miles like whales of time will open wide as long windows of rain come crashing to our feet again, and the contrast of all our lives come to their ending, and the miles like whales of time will open wide as long windows of rain come crashing to our feet again. For all my mistakes are missed around some distant harbor, and all your love, some gull above the desert, and the miles like whales of time will open wide as long windows of rain come crashing to our feet again. Yes, the miles like whales of time will open wide as long windows of rain come crashing to our feet again.
Alright, so in the news this week, it was announced that a very influential scientist has passed away. His name is James Watson.
So for people who might not know who he is, James Watson helped discover the double helix structure of DNA with Francis Crick. So claiming at the time he had discovered the secret of life.
And alongside Watson and Crick, Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins were huge contributors as well, since they were the pair that created the very well-known Photo 51, which was the first image of DNA.
I just find it so crazy that they were able to create an image and a model of DNA. I can't get my head around the idea of being able to see something that's too small to really observe.
That's true. And I actually spoke to Izzy, our producer, just before a while back, and she actually explained to me how this was done through X-ray crystallography, and she knows this because she studied physics, and which is a technique where you fire X-rays at a structure, in this case DNA, and you record the diffraction of these X-rays, which essentially means you record how the X-rays are bent or scattered as a result of interacting with the electrons in the atoms within DNA. And from this data, so you can just work backwards. I shouldn't say just to make it sound easy, but from this data, you can basically work backwards and create a model of what shape it has.
That's amazing. It's still really hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah, I know. Like I was talking about it and I was like, okay, sounds difficult.
But yeah, so I was reading this article, and from the sounds of it, Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins contributed so significantly to the discovery of the structure of DNA with this photo, but I know that they hardly got enough credit for it. And I don't know, this just really annoys me when women especially get pushed to the side in the past with science like this.
It is, I think, a pretty overlooked thing, especially like, I guess it's a little bit better nowadays, but before it was really overlooked. And a lot of obituaries about Watson in the press have acknowledged this, which is something to point out, that Franklin in particular didn't get enough credit. And actually, Watson and Crick have used a lot of her data without permission.
Oh my God.
Very dodgy.
Yeah, I did read on the tube this morning that he once said, "The thought could not be avoided that the best home for a feminist was in another person's lab." And he was referring to Franklin when he said this.
Yeah, he does make a lot of these sort of derogatory racist comments as well as sexist ones. And his studies of genetics did sort of quote unquote back his idea of and bias of white male supremacy, which is, I think, a case a lot in like genetics in the past.
Yeah, true. It is so sad that he had these views because his impact on science has been huge.
Yeah.
I mean, his discovery literally revealed how genetic information is stored and passed on.
Yeah, like, I mean, what he did pretty much just changed the field of science. Like, the structure of DNA has revolutionized so many things, whether that's healthcare with genetic engineering of DNA helping to prevent diseases, or agriculture, like how you can genetically engineer a crop and to increase yield or nutritional value, as well as forensics, and it can be used to identify criminals.
That's so really interesting. Also, just generally, the double helix structure is so iconic.
Oh, yeah,
when I think about science, I think about that. I didn't do chemistry. We both kind of worked in neuroscience.
Yeah.
So I guess we had some connection to genetics.
Genetics was like the go-to thing, especially because personal medicine is a thing now, and it's like considered as a future of science. So you use the DNA or genetics to profile that patient.
Yeah.
And sort of tweak your treatment around that. So yeah, the amount of times that DNA came up, and to be honest, I didn't really like it. I was more of
it's
a protein.
It's a difficult topic.
I was more of a proteomic person. So
yeah.
What about you though? How about your experience in undergrad with DNA?
Well, I did study psychology, and then I just worked in neuroscience, so I wasn't really like academically confronted with genetics. I did work in neurodegenerative diseases, so of course you're always talking about inheritability of diseases. But yeah, I'm also just really interested in the CRISPR stuff, where you can actually edit and code genetics. So what that means for the future, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you said something about inheritance. I just remembered. Do you know the game Animal Crossing?
Yes.
Yeah, so Animal Crossing, you can cross like flowers and stuff.
Oh.
And actually use that for for one of my science communication assignment to explain about how inheritance works.
Oh my God.
So that was super fun.
What a good way to do that.
But yeah, I was quite smart with that, to be honest. So yeah, we should probably move on to our next song. And next on the playlist today, we have Fire Escape in the Sea by Sea Power.
That was Fire Escape in the Sea by Sea Power. Next up, the winners of the Faculty of Natural Sciences Make a Difference competition have just been announced at Imperial.
Yeah, I did see this in the Imperial newsletter. So, Scarlett, do you mind telling us, our listeners, what do the participants do to compete in this?
Yes, so the competition runs in the Department of Natural Sciences here at Imperial, and it focuses on impactful low-cost technologies that address real-world issues. So over 8 weeks of a summer placement, each team gains access to lab resources, funding, and mentorship, and the winners get £7,000 to develop and upscale their ideas for practical application.
So it doesn't go to like the person's back pocket then?
No, it's for the development.
Well, we have some special guests this episode, as we said in the introduction. Please welcome the winners of this year's Make a Difference competition, Arda Kanchal and Ida, who are here to talk about how they created an autonomous drone system that helps to locate trapped earthquake survivors.
Great. So first of all, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Can you tell us maybe a little bit about yourselves, maybe what you study, and then what inspired you to participate in the challenge?
Yeah, let me start. So I'm Arda Kanchal. I'm a second-year design engineering student, and I've always been interested in finding real-world solutions to actual problems.
Yeah.
I'm Idilida. I'm a second-year theoretical physics student. And yeah, just to briefly talk about our motivation about the project, we are both from Turkey. We've actually known each other for quite a while now. We're from the same high school.
Oh, lovely.
And we were motivated primarily from the 2023 Turkey-Syria earthquake. We have seen at firsthand how poorly navigated aftermath of such disasters can affect lives. There was about 60,000 people who lost their lives, unfortunately, and about 260,000 buildings that were either damaged or collapsed. So since earthquakes have such personal connection to us, we knew that we wanted to do something about it. And once we saw that FONSMAD gave us the opportunity to get these ideas and independently and creatively work on them over the summer with a lab provided, we just wanted to take our chances and just participate.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so one thing I do want to point out is that you've developed these geophone sensors?
Yeah, so let me be clear on that. So over our future implementation plan included drones, but what we have right now, our technology right now, consists of a portable device that uses geophones, which are like seismic sensors that pick up surface waves, and then does signal processing algorithms on them to detect survivors under the debris after an earthquake happens.
Right, and I think it's something about the Imperial sort of newsletter kind of being a bit wrong with that. I think the choice of language was a bit dodgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a science communicator, we have to point that out. So, and I've seen in times of crisis that sort of people use carbon dioxide detectors and thermal imaging equipment. Could you sort of talk us through how your work and how your work went through and the advantages they have compared to the current methods?
Yeah, certainly. So after an earthquake happens, there are guidelines made out by INSARAG, UN decides on these guidelines, and for a technical search process to happen, there has to be some sensors that need to be used, and these consist of acoustic or seismic listening devices, because thermal imaging cameras can see under concrete. So they're very limited to urban search and rescue for wildfires and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
And other than that, there are UVB radars that are being developed, but they're years of development away from being on the field. Yeah. So as per the guidelines, there needs to be an acoustic or seismic listening device. And right now in the status quo, those devices are all very analog, and people have to listen to those sensor outputs and decide whether there's an anomaly or not by their ears. So what we did basically is to get those sensors, a very, very cheap versions of those sensors, and to put automate the signal processing algorithms on that so that they can be automated. Right. And I think how our product compares, or our prototype compares to the existing technologies, is the main benefit that we have is it's significantly cheaper. We produce these devices right now under £1,000, whereas in the market they go for £20,000 to £30,000.
Oh,
okay,
I
amazing. So yeah, we talked about how you don't get to keep the £7,000, but it's for the project. So how are you imagining that you will use this money to upscale your project?
So we've been talking about what to do and how to use this budget even before winning.
Oh, yes.
So right now our initial goal is to get started with the patent application. So we need to use a large portion of that budget to, do our applications. We are in contact with different patent agencies to help us out with the process and the application. We also want to get better electronic components, better sensors that would increase our accuracy rate and the performance of the prototype, so that once we have something that we can send out the NGOs to do field tests, we can actually get feedbacks from them and get a lab space that we can basically work on.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I presume this this project that you participate in is something that's so fruitful, right? You learn so many things.
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
Yeah. If you would give advice to someone who wants to participate in this, what would you really give as an advice?
Yeah, 100%. So I think for us what worked best is to find a really good teammate, because you're going to be working with them over the summer, more than 8 hours a day. So you're basically living with them for 3 months. So it's really important for both the project and for yourself that you get along with them. And once you have that friend that you're going to participate in the project with, I think the most important thing is to find a problem that you are really passionate about and that you have a personal connection with, because once you have that passion towards the problem that you want to solve, you'll put in more effort and more work, and all of the technical things will get done. I think those are the 2 tips that I would give.
Right.
Can you think of a little, are there any funny stories of any disagreements or being stuck together for too long?
100%.
I mean, we've visited different training centers to collect data to, develop this product. So we've been to different rubble pile sites, actually. We've been to 2 of them. And one of them was actually on my birthday. So I spent the whole birthday underneath a rubble pile in the tunnels, tapping with my bare hands on concrete for about 5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, if you're passionate about the project,
Yeah.
could be an okay birthday. There are better ways to celebrate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very inspiring. Thank you so much for coming on here to talk about that.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, of course.
It's amazing to have people talk here. It's always us two.
And it's just so wonderful to hear how
Yeah.
there are people our age who are creating such promising futures. So I look forward to hearing more about your project in the future.
Certainly.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. So yeah, we're on to our next song, which is Pet Rock by L Rain.
Wow,
That was Pet Rock by L. Rain. Continuing with the research here at Imperial on arguably a different type of rock, Kazuma, didn't you talk to a PhD student last week?
Yeah. Was it last week or was it 2 weeks before? I actually don't remember. But basically, I had the opportunity to talk to a PhD student. His name was Oliver Kipax-Choi. He's a lovely guy. He studies coral reefs and specifically coral reef conservation. First off, do you know about the Global Tipping Points report?
Yeah, so I know it in terms of, the climate warming. So we have a point where it's just too hot to be reversible.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what the Global Tipping Points report is. It's basically a document that summarizes and reports the tipping points of Earth's ecosystems. And midway through October, I think it was around like 14th or 15th of October, they released this year's report, so Global Tipping Report 2025, which included some depressing news. It was stated that coral reefs have reached this tipping point in terms of its sustainability, and unless global warming is urgently reversed or the increase in temperatures reduced, coral reefs would just cease to exist.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty depressing.
It was a lot to take in, yeah.
Yeah.
But because we are in such a difficult situation, I think it's really important to highlight some of the coral conservation research that happens here in Imperial College. So that's why I spoke to Oliver. And now we're just going to play the little interview/news package I had with Oliver.
Yeah.
Sort of similar to what I did last week.
Okay.
But yeah, this is coral reefs time.
Right before getting off the boat, I had a quick thought. I was like, I don't actually know if I'm going to be super comfortable breathing underwater, and started to have a very mild panic attack. And then I rolled off the boat with my eyes shut, and then I eventually opened my eyes and took a deep breath. And as soon as I could see the reefs, I immediately calmed down, and I was like, this is such a beautiful thing that I didn't even know existed.
The vulnerability of coral reefs has been reported substantially over the past few decades, but what do people exactly research when it comes to its conservation? Oliver Kipax-Choi studies the effects of artificial reef design on ocean currents using computer fluid dynamics.
So a lot of these artificial reefs are designed specifically for conservation, but generally for attachment. So you put out the structure and then you physically attach corals onto it to stimulate growth in an area where they've been degraded. But that's not a super scalable design, because if you have to outplant every single coral that you want to be there, you'll just never be able to cover the area that's being destroyed.
Instead of replacing damaged corals, Oliver works on artificial reefs that can encourage natural settlement of coral larvae. These artificial reefs can be constructed in varying designs, which consequently affects how surrounding ocean currents flow. Coral larvae settlement, which eventually leads to coral development, is heavily dependent on ocean currents.
Coral larvae are not entirely passive particles because they have some minimal ability to swim. So from some measurements that I have taken of corals swimming, they reach peak velocities of about 5 millimeters a second in completely static tanks, and then on average swim at about 1 millimeter a second. And if you think about that in the scheme of ocean currents, that's very, very small and is not actually that effective. So you have to think about how flow is being influenced by these structures to create more turbulence, so more water is circulating near the surface structure, but also it's slowing down flow enough that when these small larvae get close enough to it, they can still attach to it.
Like Oliver, many researchers in the UK are involved in coral reef research. Reef Conservation UK, or RCUK, is a place for presentation and collaboration of works being done by coral researchers. In the next RCUK conference happening on the 6th of December at the Bangor University in Wales, Oliver will have his third opportunity to talk about his research, which I am sure will be his best one yet. That is all from Kazuma.
Wow, Kazuma, that was an amazing package.
Thank you.
I think it's great to hear. I mean, it really just kind of adds to the being at Imperial. You get to hear a lot of hopeful news, a lot of hopeful science being done.
Right.
Because, yeah, let's talk about corals. What are they good for, actually?
So Oliver went through like 10 minutes just talking to me about this, and he was really cooperative. But basically, corals are autogenic ecosystems, ecosystem engineers.
Okay.
So they basically provide habitat for a range of organisms. So it's kind of like a tree, right? A tree gives habitat for so many organisms, right? Birds, squirrels, bugs, and corals are sort of similar to that. So if corals are gone, all these ecosystems, all these animals also lose their own sort of habitat.
And they probably wouldn't survive without it.
And it'd be really harmful to the environment and to nature. And another issue is that it serves as a shelter for juvenile fish. So a lot of fish that are still too young to protect themselves from predators actually use coral reefs as a way to shelter themselves. So if that's gone again, fishing industry would face a detrimental effect. And I think the more evident one is, I think the more obvious one for people is that coral reefs are just really nice to see. As you can tell from Oliver's being it really inspires people to work for coral reefs and work in its conservation. So it has a strong purpose for tourism as well, to support a lot of the South Asian countries that rely on coral reef tourism. And the effect that it has is so detrimental, and it can just affect like so many different people in different ways. And we might be living in London, and we might not really think about how coral reefs would affect our lives.
Reefs here,
there aren't any, I guess, I suppose, especially in London. So but the thing is, it affects our life in ways that we don't realize, like fishes. Like, at least I like eating fishes, so it would be a problem. And I think there's different ways that, for example, organizations help to protect coral reef conservation. Do you want me to talk about that as well?
Sure.
About the
we
charity?
have some time for that.
We have some time. All right. So Oliver actually takes part in the Zoological Society of London, or he doesn't take part necessarily, but he's a part of it. Yeah. And he's also part of the Reef Conservation UK, as I said in the news package. So the ZSL apparently helps. There's one particular research that closely works with the local communities outside of England. But then a lot of the research is simply just giving that foundation in place for people to take part in coral reef research. RC UK, on the other hand, as I said, is more about taking part in sort of setting up conferences and opportunities for collaboration. So Oliver's going to have his next talk in Wales. I hope he does well. I'm pretty sure he will.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. But his research actually, I'm pretty sure will get a lot of reception because it's very novel as well. What a lot of artificial reef research do is that they look at, for example, its purpose for sheltering juvenile fish, and that only. It's not really about natural settlement of coral reef. But Oliver looks specifically at that. He looks at how the water currents change depending on the design of artificial reefs. And just one fun fact, the daughter company of the company that makes Mars bars is apparently working to like design artificial reefs as well.
I see.
So talking to him, he gave me like a lot of these cool stories, which I thought was really fascinating. But
I wonder, can these artificial reefs really kind of replicate a natural reef?
So,
did Oliver say anything about that?
So it's more about having the foundation for coral larvae to settle and then grow. Because if you try to simply just replace the number of coral reefs that are gone using artificial reefs, it's just impossible. You'll never make up for it, right? But if you actually support the natural ecosystem and how the cycle happens by having artificial reefs, the effect would multiply.
And then you'll have the natural reefs growing.
Theoretically,
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's really fun, and something similar along the lines of artificial reef. There's also an organization called Resting Reef, which is basically when the organization uses people's ash to build artificial reefs.
Oh, I see.
Which I think is really cool. And I actually wanted to talk to them as well. Yeah. But the person was on leave the entirety of November.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I could only talk to them in December, which is a shame. I might be able to get them in the last
for the next radio
Maybe,
program.
maybe,
Yeah, of
maybe.
course.
But yeah, that was interesting. And they also work in association with the London Aquarium. So if you're really interested in coral reef stuff, you should definitely go to London Aquarium because they do a lot of conservation work as well.
Oh, super.
But yeah.
And honestly, I feel like, planting artificial reefs could become the new tourist attraction
Oh yeah,
instead of just going to observe.
Yeah, it's definitely a way that I think people could engage with. I think, it's very difficult for people to participate in not just coral, just environment protection, because we tend to just care about what's happening with our lives.
Yes, exactly.
But these opportunities and talking to people who actually take part in research, it actually makes you sort of widen up your perspective and realize what you could do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not even that difficult. Like in the case of resting reef, you just die and they'll do the job for you.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So
yes.
So, yeah.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
That's going to be my
soon with us.
last contribution to environment protection.
Okay.
But yeah, should we move on to the next song?
Yes.
So next up we have Stone Femmes by Eid Girl.
One slept like a stone, no, she is softest. The other slept like a tree, light and lovely. Scar me, please between my wings. They were a little itchy. Hug me and crush my soul back into my body. Scar me, please between my wings. They were a little itchy. I play with you, but these strings. How I feel, Two angels woke up on a box mattress. They got up and dragged themselves to the bathroom. Wings wrapped tight with two sleepy hearts under the shower in each other's arms. Two angels woke up on a box mattress. Scar me, please, between my wings. They're a little itchy. Hug me and crush my soul back into my body. Scar me, please, between my wings. They're a little itchy. I play with you, but these strings. Now I feel
That was Stone Femmes by Id Girl. Up next, we're talking about how social media has completely changed the way people discover and learn about science. From raising awareness about climate change on TikTok to influencers breaking down AI tools, scientific ideas are spreading faster and in more creative ways than ever before. But how is this changing how we actually understand science? So joining us today is Betty, who works closely with creators and tech brands to make science more visible online.
Hi everyone.
Hiya.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be here, especially to talk about something that connects both my work and my passion, which is how we bring science closer to people through communication.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did hear about how the company that you work for often helps to bridge the gap between technology and creators. how do you exactly see social media changing the way science is being communicated today?
I think the biggest change is that science communication has become decentralized. It's no longer just scientists or journalists explaining science, but also creators, brands, and even everyday users are taking part. For example, my team recently worked with Gemini. This is an AI app that helps connect brands and influencers. When we brief the creators, we encourage them not just to promote a product, but to tell stories about how AI creativity fits into people's life. I think that process turns technical ideas into emotional, relatable stories. And I think it's actually science communication in a new form nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, it's fascinating. It's not just AI, is it? Like, it's also about how, like, we're seeing the same thing in other areas too, like climate science or mental health.
Yeah.
And, like, some of the most popular science videos now come from individuals and not, like, institutions and organizations.
Yeah, exactly. Take climate communication for instance. NASA, BBC Earth, and independent creators are all using short videos to show like real data in visual and emotional ways. Or, as you mentioned, medical influencers and explaining vaccines, nutritional science, or mental health through storytelling and animation. And interestingly, many scientists themselves have joined this movement.
Right.
Like some young researchers are now making TikToks to show, what the research looks like behind the scenes. And that's powerful because it makes science human, I think.
Yeah, and I think it also makes science feel a little bit more approachable for the general audiences.
Yes.
Would you say that social media is making science more democratic, like less top-down and more open to participation from everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think science communication used to be about like accuracy, but now it's also about connection. Like social media allows science to be translated, reinterpreted, and even challenged. I think that's healthy because when people feel that science belongs to them, they start to care more about it.
Yeah.
That's, very true. I guess it's not just about, learning science, but also everyday living with science because it isn't everything.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
It's a very science communication thing, isn't it? Like what we do in class as well.
Yeah.
yes, true.
Yeah. It's good that you have like practical stuff going on outside of the course, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Betty, for that insight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, well, then the next track we will play for our listeners is 925 by Boko Youth.
I need a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to, I need a 9 to 5, 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 I need a a night two. I need a night to five, I need a night two. I need a night to five, I need a night to five, I need a night to five, I need a night two. I need a night to five, I need a night two. I need a night to five, I need a night two.
I need a night to five, I need a night two. I need a night to five, I need a night a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to. I need a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to. I need a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to. I need a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to. I need a 9 to 5, I need a 9 to.
That was 925 by Bokoyot. And I just wanted to give them a special shout out since they are my friends. I would really recommend listening to their music. And
They did
just
rock hard.
They did.
They did rock hard.
Yeah, them, Bokoyot, and just generally smaller Swedish artists I really would recommend.
Oh.
Yes, but moving on to another topic that is also very dear to my heart. Did you watch the final of Celebrity Traders last
No,
week?
I don't watch TV series.
Oh,
You have
I
to
know.
educate me here.
I feel like I've been talking about it so much recently. Yeah, so for the uninitiated, so Kazuma maybe,
Yes.
Celebrity Traders is a reality TV show where famous contestants live together, but some are secretly traitors.
Ooh.
These try to sabotage the group, and they get to kill someone off each night. Not actually kill.
Oh,
Just,
okay. Thank God, thank God.
So at the same time, the faithful have to figure out who the traitors are, and they get to vote every evening, and they have to try to vote off the traitors.
Okay.
And this just continues until you're left with one or multiple winners.
Right.
For this segment, little quick warning, I don't want to spoil the final, so if you haven't seen the final, that's all right, but there will be some light spoilers ahead. But it's been a week since the final, so you've had time to watch it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I mean, we are a science radio, though. Why does this matter? Or, like, why are we talking about this today?
Well, my favorite science, actually, psychology.
Ooh.
So yeah, of course, it's a social show, so the show is full of psychological dynamics, especially biases. So I read this article on BBC Bite Size where they interviewed a psychologist from Aberdeen University called Douglas Martin, and he specializes in social biases and pointed out the many ways that unconscious biases were displayed in the show.
Oh, that's cool. But by the way, this is the only part that I can pitch in because it's sciencey. Unconscious bias is when we let sort of our past experiences and ideas influence our interpretation of a situation, and as the name suggests, it usually happens unconsciously. We don't really usually realize that we have that bias within us.
Yes.
Go on.
Yeah, great definition, exactly. Yeah, so you could see that everywhere in Celebrity Traders. And honestly, there's also a huge difference between regular traders, which is not with celebrities, with just people who sign up for the show. I mean, I guess they could be celebrities after that, but before they're unknown. And comparing that with Celebrity Traders, because the contestants come in and some are quite famous and some already know each other and they've worked together, or they at least know of each other before the game begins. So that gives some players a huge advantage. I mean, Stephen Fry and Celia Imrie were on this season. So, these are huge, national treasures here in England. Yes. So, yeah. There's this thing where people are likely to gravitate to and trust to the bigger celebrities, like Stephen Fry and Celia Imrie. So this is called the halo effect. So where positive traits are like being successful or being very charming, like famously so, makes us assume that someone is good in every way.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that thing.
Yeah. So maybe Tom Daley was on the show, and he's a famous Olympian, and he's won many gold medals. So people, are drawn to him because that he's competitive and that he's driven. So that he will do well on the show, or your bias thinks that he will. But I think eventually that worked against him because they were saying that he's so driven, he's so smart. They got scared of him and he got voted off. Sorry, spoiler. Just a light one. It's early in the show. And you could see how it also worked against others, such as Nico, who is famous for his prank videos on YouTube. he was not trusted at all and he got
I
voted off.
suppose. They'd think it was a prank as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It's interesting watching the show when you don't know someone. Like, I didn't know Nico, so I didn't know he'd made prank videos. So I didn't really understand that
Oh.
bias towards him.
right.
But I guess when I found out afterwards, I kind of a
Made
little bit
sense.
understand it. And as a psychologist, I do understand it, of course.
Okay. And I also heard something about like the big dog theory.
Oh my God, yes.
What's that about?
So the famous big dog theory. Yeah, so there's a rugby player called Joe Marler,
Mm-hmm.
and he had the idea that Stephen Fry and Jonathan Ross, who are kind of like the most influential celebrities on the show, were the leaders of the faithful and the traitors, so one for each group.
Okay.
And this is a perfect example of authoritative bias because they're so authoritative in their fields. So like in broadcasting or academia, we instinctively transfer that authority to new situations, even if it's not relevant at all.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
So
It's like,
people were like trusting them, even though it's not like they knew more than others of who the traitors were.
It's kind of like when I'm nervous with a supervisor who's a professor
Yeah.
outside of academic.
You just
occasions.
assume they
like they
can
buy
do
me
everything.
a coffee. I'm still like, oh,
Just
like they're
like,
like
wow.
professors. Wow.
You did that so well. Yeah, and I mean, Joe did end up being right. So,
Okay.
which is also, Dr. Martin kind of mentioned that Joe's own biases of being a team sport, a team player in sports, he's used to having two opposing teams and then leaders of these teams, like captains or coaches. So that was also influencing him, which could have been his unconscious bias that he came up with a theory.
So I guess like a lot of these real world experiences, what they experience in real life, sort of literally like shapes the theory of the game, doesn't it?
Which, if you think about it, doesn't make that much sense because it isn't a rugby match and it isn't academia, it isn't broadcasting.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
shows
complete
like
new
how much
situation.
that affects forms your personality. doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to watch happen in real life. And it doesn't have to be malicious or intentional. I think when people hear the word bias, they think of, a more malicious intent of it.
Yeah.
It could just be like your brain, we understand the world through patterns. So your brain is just trying to fit everything into categories.
Yeah, so I guess this whole show is just like one big social event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely. And
Yeah.
it also just shows that we maybe have to challenge our biases sometimes. Sometimes I think we believe that we know the world, but sometimes we just have to have a
Yeah,
look.
it does definitely probably even friends group, to be fair.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
in everyday life,
Yeah.
really.
So I think time's pushing, so we're gonna move on to the next song, the final song on our playlist today, and we have Moderation by Catelebon.
I get my heart high in the sky, but I can't put my finger on it. I wanna cry, I'm out of my mind, trying to figure it out. Moderation, I can't have it. I don't want it.
That was Moderation by Kate LeBon. And our final song for you today.
Banger. That was a banger too. I love
Really,
that.
the songs today were great.
I love that. It was so soothing.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very positive radio episode.
Yeah. What was your favorite topic?
I have to say, talking about the geosensor for the earthquake was just so inspiring to hear.
They talked so well. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I just have to
They
say,
talked
being
so
here at
well.
Imperial and talking to my peers basically,
Yeah.
and hearing what they're studying and the projects they're working on, I do get very inspired and I get hope for the future. Of course.
Like I don't think I've done anything like that in undergrad, so
Oh God,
it was
no.
so inspiring
Definitely
to
not,
like
definitely not.
hear how like are they in third year, fourth year? Somewhere around
He
there.
was in second year, and
Okay.
I think Edel, maybe not.
Yeah,
Anyways,
but-
I feel like there's such a way of looking at the world with
Yeah.
everything, and also climate change, and you can get really depressed about it. So it is really good to hear such good news. Also about the coral reefs.
Hey, of
It's
course,
very
of course.
inspiring.
I've got my part.
I'm ready to just jump in the water and start,
Start
making
planting
these
the
reefs for sure.
Yeah, I do want to try scuba diving one point in my life.
Yeah, of course.
Have you done it before?
Yes.
You have.
No, not scuba diving. Wait, what's the one? I've been snorkeling.
Oh,
I've been snorkeling.
okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also really liked your part. To be fair, you're just you're just going on about your favorite TV series. It was fun.
I always manage to turn everything into a psychological analysis. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess like talking about what you like the most is always like the best way, because you just like researching more about the topic and stuff.
yeah, totally,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah,
But
that
yeah.
leaves us with the end of the show today.
Ooh.
Good job.
So yeah, many thanks to Izzy, Yulin, and Betty behind the desk, and of course people who contributed to us today.
Of course,
for this
really,
episode.
thank you a lot to our wonderful guests, Arda and Edel, and we hope to hear more from them in the future.
Yeah, of course.
So we will be back next week for another episode. In the meantime, you can email us via science19@gmail.com. That is science and 1 spelled out and 9 written as the number. So feel free to leave a comment down below.
And with that, I'm Kazuma.
And with that, I'm Scarlett, and this has been Science at 1.